When we hear the word peace, it brings to mind feelings of tranquility, serenity, and a general feeling of well-being. But peace is much more than that. In the Bible, peace is something much more practical and actionable. We live in a world filled with noise, stress, and anxiety. The pressures of everyday life have left us all feeling like caged animals desperate to break free from our imprisoning habits and attitudes. Peace is that key that unlocks those cages and sets us free from those destructive things, so that we can live a life full of joy and contentment rather than stress and anxiety. The Bible teaches us many truths about peace. About what it is, where we can find it, how to keep it when things get tough, and how to make it grow in our lives. Here are biblical tips on living a life of peace. What is peace? The first step to living a life of peace is to know what peace truly is. The Bible tells us that peace is not just a feeling, it is also a state of being. It is the sense of safety and security that comes from knowing that we are not in danger or at risk of harm. It is knowing that we have everything we need to thrive, not just survive. It is trust in a God who loves us deeply, knows us perfectly, and has our best interests at heart. If we are to truly live a life of peace, we must be able to recognize and define what true peace is. Learn to recognize the source of your peace. This is something that takes time and patience. It's a process that requires you to sit in silence and listen for God's voice. You must learn to still your heart and your mind so that you can hear God's voice above all the noise of your everyday life. This is a skill that takes time to master, but as you practice, you'll find your level of peace increasing. Practice meditation or simply sit quietly to discover where your peace is coming from. Ask yourself, what is the source of my peace? If you have difficulty hearing God's voice in stillness, try reading the Bible. Reading God's word can be just as powerful as hearing God's voice. And again, the act of reading the Bible is designed to help you sit in silence long enough to hear God's voice. Cultivate habits that promote peace. The habits we cultivate truly do become the things that define us. If we cultivate habits that promote stress and anxiety, we will become stressed and anxious people. If we cultivate habits that promote peace, we will become peaceful people. What habits can you start today that will help you live a more peaceful life? Here are a few suggestions. Learn to be generous and kind. Generosity and kindness are powerful antidotes to selfishness and greed. They help us focus less on ourselves and more on others. They help us let go of our own insecurities and anxieties so that we can better see and meet the needs of others. Develop a daily prayer and meditation habit. Prayer and meditation help to clear your mind of the anxieties that flood your thoughts. They help you focus on what's truly important instead of being distracted by worries and fears. Spend time in nature. Nature is a beautiful and soothing balm to the anxieties that wreck our lives. It has a way of calming our anxieties and helping us see the bigger picture of life. It can help you let go of your insecurities and anxieties so that you can better focus on what's truly important. Spend time with people who make you feel peaceful. There are people in your life who bring out the best in you, who lift you up and make you a better person. There are relationships that are healthy, peaceful, and full of joy. Spend more time with the people in your life who make you feel peaceful and contented. Who helps you let go of your insecurities and anxieties so that you can better focus on what's truly important. Who helps you cultivate habits that promote peace instead of anxiety. Who helps you live a life full of joy and contentment instead of stress and anxiety? Remember that it's not always easy to feel peaceful. Just because you are trying to live a life of peace doesn't mean that you will always feel peaceful. It's during those times when you feel most pressured, most anxious, and most out of control that you need your peace the most. It's during those times when you need to dig deep and find the strength needed to cling to your peace. The Bible tells us that when we are in the dark, we need to seek the light. When we are in trouble, we need to seek God. When we are anxious, we need to seek peace. The key to living a life of peace is to remember that while it's something you do, it's also something you let come to you in the dark times when you need it the most. In conclusion, the world around us is a chaotic place. It's full of noise, stress, and anxiety. If we are to truly live a life of peace, we must learn how to shut out that noise, let go of that stress, and find our peace. The Bible teaches us many truths about peace. About what it is, where we can find it, how to keep it when things get tough, and how to make it grow in our lives. Now is the time more than ever to seek true peace. The world around you may be chaotic, but you can find your peace. You can learn to shut out that noise, let go of that stress and anxiety, and find your peace. With these 5 biblical tips, you can truly live a life of peace.